So picking up where we left off, let's go ahead and close these Chrome windows we have open. Actually, well, we'll just leave the one open for now. And let's go into our project here. Hold on. Okay. So the first thing we have is our usual .meteor folder. Don't touch that. Then we have our modules folder. You might touch this a little bit, and you could maybe poke around in there if you want to. It's how we have some of the base functionality working. You know what? Actually, I take that back. Don't mess with this folder either. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. There's the packages folder. Don't touch that either. Don't touch that either. This is all, you're in a museum, you can look, don't touch. So what these modules and packages folders are doing is when I say we, I mean Max and I, that's how we have kind of all of our behind the scenes functionality working in this framework. And we wish it was just one folder. It was just modules. There's kind of a few engineering compromises we had to make in order to get it to work. So we have this packages folder right now to get the security system to work correctly. But we hope in the future to be able to get rid of the packages folder, and it will not be necessary in the future. Then we have this pages folder. We can touch this one. You have permission to open this one up. So pages is exactly what it sounds like. It is the different pages in your app. So here you can see we have 3 pages. We have the home page, the login page, and we have a profile page, which I'll be forward with you, isn't quite finished out. So I wouldn't really mess with the profile page much. You know, honestly, just go in there and just, well, you can just leave it for now. It's fine, but it's not really doing anything. So the normal structure here is the following. Each page in your app gets one folder. So the home page, that has a folder. The login page, that's got a folder. The profile page, that has a folder. And within each of those folders, say for example on the home page, there is an HTML file and a JavaScript file. The HTML file has your template HTML inside of it. So homepage.html contains the HTML code that describes what goes on our homepage. The .js file has the template code that's associated with the events and handlers and anything else that's related to the homepage. So think of it as kind of like there's this one-to-one pairing going on for every one of these templates. Every one of these pages, there is one JavaScript file. So if you look at the other 3 pages as well, you'll notice that they're structured the exact same way. So now let's go ahead and open up one of these files. So here, this is in the homepage.html file. We just have our template name, homepage. Then I've just kind of shown you guys, sort of the normal Bootstrap structure you should be using. So we've got a container, we've got a row, and then I've got a full width column layout. And then here's where I put my title, and then I said, don't forget your launch box. So really basic. Now if we look at the JavaScript file, here's where it gets a little bit more interesting. The first thing you'll notice is that we have this router, this router.route. whenever you see router or something route related in your code, you should think URL. So in this case, our URL for this app right here, we are currently in /admin/config. So even though URLs look like files and folders in terms of the path structure, the way Meteor works is they're basically just an address. Think of it as it's an address to load a certain template into the page of your application. And if we look at this code, that's actually exactly what we're doing. So we're basically saying, hey, on the /route, which is just the default route when you go to localhost 3000, it means you're not describing any sort of, there's nothing extra after the domain name. Let's show the template that's called homepage. If we go back to our HTML file, you'll notice here's that template, homepage. So we're going to show this template will take up a full page at this URL location. Then, just to help you guys get started, I have template.homepage.helpers right here and template.homepage.events. So if you wanted to start adding helpers and events to this HTML template, you could start doing so. So the way to think about a page is really everything, all of the blocks of HTML we use in our app are just these templates across Meteor. But at some point, there has to be a top level template. There has to be a template that says, okay, you know, there are no other templates that I'm inside of, right? And so anything that ends in page in our app is one of those root level templates or top level templates. It is exactly what it sounds like. It constitutes a page in your application. And every page in your app shouldn't have other pages in it, right? Each page has a unique URL structure. So if we go to our login page code, let's open up that. You'll notice the exact same type of thing where we have /login/user, and then we're rendering the login page for them. So there's a little bit of magic going on. It's like, well, what is the this keyword here? And what are these different, kind of like, oh, we are sort of like passing a function in here. The syntax is a little funky, but you just need to know that this is how you dictate what the URLs are for the different pages in your app, right? That's all you really need to know about this. And you can just kind of follow this general code structure whenever you want that sort of functionality. So from there, that's probably one of the first things you'll do in your app is you will have these various pages described. And so right now you should be taking a minute and thinking about what are the different pages in your application and what did you kind of want to have on those pages, right? And what are the URLs going to look like? What sort of, this is kind of a more design question. How are you going to organize your program across, typically like 2 to maybe 5 pages, right? If you're having more than 5 pages, I'd be starting really to question what you're trying to do exactly with your app. So maybe take a minute. You should already have a pretty good idea of this, but kind of sort of just jot down what you think the different pages would be in your application. And don't start coding them yet, but kind of keep those in the back of your mind.